Hey guys, so these are my Jujitsu matches for the Sunflower State Games in Topeka, Kansas. I missed recording my first gi match, so this is the second one, and we fist bump to get started. I get my grips, and immediately go for my favorite Osotogari, but didn't follow it down, so he got his guard back. And there immediately hits kind of a sweep, although lets me get back out of it. Then I hit this cheeky little guard pass. He lets me just push his knees through, and I land up and guard. One of those moves you only get once in a match. Got to take it when you can. So then I start trying to build up and control the arms. So I try to slide my knees into his armpit, but he does this nice little maneuver where he puts his feet in my belt. And I've never had anyone go for that before, so that took me by surprise. Starts kind of looking for a straight ankle, but I'm able to stand up and relieve the pressure and pry off his feet. So from here I get stuck in half guard and just work to try to get around him, prying at the feet, trying to turn around, step over. Nothing too crazy or special. He had pretty strong grips. Here I finally get past his knees and into half guard, and I hit one of my favorite escapes, pulling the legs and building up. So now that I'm around his legs, I'm able to stack him and start trying to get past his posts. And from here we settle into side control. So get my 3 points, and move on to the next part. Here I try to go for kind of a straight arm bar just to see what I can get. He was really pretty strong, and I had a hard time doing a lot with him. And with that grip that he has over the back, he's able to stop me from moving very well. That's a position I really need to work in the future. Now I'm in north-south, and he manages to get his foot in my gi so he can put a lot of pressure on me and try to work away. I try to just stay above him so it's harder for him to get an angle on me, but it's really limiting my movement. Here I'm trying to get some sort of Kimura or a straight arm bar, but I had no luck locking my hands together. I get into mount, get another 4 points. Luckily my belt's a little looser now, so it's not as easy for him to do that same escape. Although he still manages to put his foot in my gi instead of my belt and forces me to jump out. So back to guard passing. Although here we're pretty short on time, so I knew I wasn't going to get the finish, so I was just kind of waiting for the time to expire. In my second match here, you can see we're in no gi. There ended up being only 2 people in my division on both gi and no gi, but luckily they weren't the same guys in any of them. Here you can see he's a wrestler and got a sweet takedown on me. Got a lot of lift, hips in. Wasn't able to get around the head, and he got straight into side control and straight into mount. So that was a pretty rough way to start off that match, but he really didn't do a lot from here. I never really felt in danger. I was kind of waiting to see if he was going to go for something, but I was never really threatened. Although, it took me a while to get back out of mount. Finally, I'm able to get a little bit of a bump and push him off me. And I make the mistake of standing back up again. For the Jiu-Jitsu rules, for those who don't know, I could have stayed down and then he has to engage me. And when you get taken down like that, that's probably a smart plan. Here I start going for my judo moves, but I wasn't really able to get good grips on him. He did a good job staying low and keeping me immobilized. Here he gets in on a nice single leg, follows it up, captures the hips, and puts me down. I'm glad I've been practicing my break falls. And straight into side control again. Here he kind of gets me in a triangle, just my head. It really wasn't tight, although not particularly comfortable either. And he just disengages and stands up. And I make the mistake again of standing back up. Grip fight a little bit more. Really to no avail. I didn't even get close on my takedowns. Here I at least try to carry him over, but he does a good job sinking his hips to the opposite side so I couldn't roll him through. As you can see right here, and then he gets back on the same side. Luckily this time I'm actually able to catch him in half guard, so I'm not in quite as bad of a position. Get some space. Later he was telling me he was worried about me leg locking him. Little did he know I didn't know that many leg locks, so he was pretty safe. Too bad I can't get points for looking threatening. And if I haven't learned yet, stood up again. This time I at least shoot my own takedown, trying not to give up my neck to a guillotine, and put down to the mat. It was almost the end of the match anyway, so figured I should try something. And he gets the win, obviously. For my last match, nothing too crazy to begin with, just some grip fighting. He's shooting for my legs. Try to stay square with him. He's quite a bit taller and longer, and he gets behind my knees, and luckily I don't get slammed quite as bad as against the wrestler. I just try to ride this out, and he rolls me over. And I try to swing him through as well, but he's able to stabilize there. Although I do catch this triangle. Now, I end up losing that, and as I understand it, it's because I should have been trying to get parallel with his body, and he managed to get perpendicular. Right about here, I start getting coached by Dan Morgan from Valor Jiu-Jitsu, and that helped me out. So I start working across face, get some space between me and him, and manage to get into half guard, and now full guard. I go for an armbar here, and his elbow makes some squishy noises, but no pops, and he didn't tap. So he ended up slipping out of that. He starts getting a body lock on me, though he didn't really seem to be doing anything with it. And so I start looking for a Kimura or any sort of grip that I can get whenever I hear Dan say I should go for the Kimura sweep. And I ask him if I could just do a bump sweep, if that would work. And he said, sure, so give that a shot, and over he goes. Never expect it to go that easy. Just stabilize the position here to get my points, because we are in mount, so I got 2 for the sweep and 4 for mount. I start coming up into high guard, get my knees in his armpits. He keeps pressing into me, and so I swing in for the armbar. So I'm glad I got at least one submission today, or that day, and didn't get tapped out, although I think overall I wish I would have been more aggressive. So my record for the jiu-jitsu matches were 2 second place medals, and I had a good time. definitely check out my judo video if you get a chance, and I'll see you in the next one. I'll keep you guys updated for some future tournaments that I go to.